Hello everyone, welcome to Multilingual. In today's video, I've prepared something really cool for you. You know, in every language, there is phrases and sentences that people use a lot, almost every day. And so that you don't need to think about grammar or vocabulary, I've prepared those 10 most common sentences that people say a lot. You can use the timestamps under this video or simply stay with me till the end, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot of really helpful information. Let's begin. So the first sentence I'd like you to know and to remember is, how is it going? How is it going? Sure, you know the phrase, how are you? How are you? But this phrase is used a lot in spoken English. Hey, how is it going? This is a very common way to greet someone and ask how they are doing. Also, you can add a preposition with to this question and ask, for example, how is it going with? How is it going with your new job? Or how is it going with your new project? Or how is it going with your colleagues at work? So here you want to ask someone how they're doing with something. Maybe there is something new or something challenging or something that people have to deal with. And you can ask this question, how is it going with?
How's it going?
How's it going?
How's it going?
Now, in my videos, I always try to give you some alternatives. I want you to level up your English, and that's why I also would like to offer you the second phrase, and this is, could you give me a hand with? Of course, you can say, can you help me? But you can also use this more advanced phrase, and it sounds more like the phrase of a native speaker. Could you give me a hand with? For example, could you give me a hand with my homework? Could you give me a hand with the household chores? Could you give me a hand with this text? I don't really understand what the word means. Or physically, could you give me a hand with the bags? Like, could you help me with carrying the bags? Could you give me a hand with? A really nice phrase for you to remember.
Hey, give me a hand with this coffin, will you?
Give me a hand with this couch.
Now, being polite is really important in English. In English, you use a lot of polite phrases, a lot of please and thank you. And the next phrase I'd like you to learn and memorize is, would you mind if I? Would you mind if I? Would you mind if I called you back later? Would you mind if I closed the window? Would you mind if I used your pen? Feel free to make your own examples in the comments under this video to practice the phrases. We use this phrase almost every single day when we ask for someone's permission, and it's very polite because it has "would you mind" in it. Would you mind if I closed the window? You can say, no, not at all. Go ahead. Go ahead. Close the window. This is how you would usually answer to this question. So, would you mind if I? And the answer should be negative. Not at all. Please, go ahead.
But would you mind if I married your daughter?
Would you mind if I call?
If somebody is telling you a story, something really pleasant that happened to this person, you can use these common phrases or these common expressions of positivity. You can say, that's awesome, that's great, that's fantastic, that's marvelous. So this is how you can react if somebody is telling you something positive and you want to express positive feelings that you're happy for this person. You say, that's awesome, you got a new job, wow, after so many months of searching, that's awesome, that's fantastic. Wow, you bought a new house. That's fantastic. I'm so happy for you. This is a very simple yet common expression to show your enthusiasm.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I think that this phrase is really important for you if you are still learning and perfecting your English. The phrase number 5. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat it, please? Or even if your English is great, but sometimes people speak too fast or use too complicated words or slang, or they have a special dialect or an accent. And I think it's also a good way to show that the person should slow down, use different words, or maybe speak standard English instead of using some kind of a dialect.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I love the next phrase, and I actually use it a lot. This is a casual way to suggest getting some food together. For example, for lunch or for a snack, you can say, let's grab a bite to eat, or let's grab something to eat. This is what native speakers use. Let's grab a bite to eat. Let's grab a bite to eat. I'm hungry. Let's grab a bite to eat. Let's grab a bite to eat. Let's grab a bite to eat. Cool phrase. Please use it whenever you want to get some food together with your colleague or with a friend.
Maybe grab a bite to eat?
Sure, but let's grab a bite to eat first.
The phrase number 7 is a polite and positive way to express excitement about something. Like you're waiting for something, you're expecting something to happen, and you are looking forward to it. You and your friend, you're going on holiday, and you can say, I'm looking forward to it. I deserved it. I've worked so hard. I'm looking forward to it. What is interesting about this verb, look forward to, is that when we use a verb afterwards, we have to add an ing. For example, I'm looking forward to reading from you. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So it's always a verb with ing. Even though we have to, we should use it gerund. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I see this mistake a lot in emails, so I want you not to make this mistake and make sure that you use it correctly.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Now, the next phrase, number 8, is really good in discussions when you're discussing something with someone and you hear an argument or someone's opinion, someone's perspective, and you want to acknowledge it. You want to agree with it. And you say, that's a good point. That's a good point. For example, one of your colleagues suggests having English classes at work. He says, for example, why don't we get English classes at work to improve our English? And you can say, yeah, that's a good point. So I like this. I want to acknowledge your argument or your perspective. I really like this idea. That's a good point. That's a very good and very helpful phrase, how to react in a discussion.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. She has a good point.
Another really good phrase, the phrase number 9, that you can also use in discussions when you want to express your uncertainty or you want to postpone your answer because you still need to think about this point. You can say, I'm not really sure, but I think. And so you buy some time to think about this point, to think about something that you're not completely confident about what you want to say. I'm not really sure, but I think that having group classes at work might not be very efficient. Maybe it's better to have one-to-one classes or really smaller group classes. So the phrase is, I'm not really sure, but I think.
Actually, I'm not sure.
I'm not really sure.
So, and the final phrase today, the phrase number 10, is one of my favorites as well. And I say this phrase a lot, either on the phone or even in emails or face-to-face. It doesn't matter. I'll get back to you on that. I'll get back to you on that. Or let me get back to you on that. Someone has a question or a request for you, and you want to provide an answer or response at a later time. You don't want to say anything now, or maybe there is some information that is missing. You can say, I'll get back to you on that. Or let me get back to you on that. So you will do some research, you will ask the internet maybe, and then you can say, I'll get back to you on that. Or let me get back to you on that. Really cool phrase.
I'll get back to you on that.
I'll have to get back to you on that. Okay, bye.
So I hope you like these 10 phrases, and I'm sure they can help you in your everyday conversation, whoever you're talking to, your colleagues, your friends, your boss, anyone, because these are the phrases that people use a lot, especially native speakers. These are more advanced phrases, like could you give me a hand with something? Sure, you can say, could you help me? But these phrases are used a lot and they're commonly used in English. I hope that you liked this video. Please let me know in the comments if it was helpful for you, what phrases were new to you, which phrases would you like to use in future. I'm really curious about it. Thanks a lot for staying with me till the end, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye guys.